There everyone, and welcome to another segment on the bench. Today I'm going to bring you one of my favorite dry flies. It's the Humpy. It's one of the favorite flies of most anglers, probably in the top 10 of a lot of accomplished anglers. It really doesn't specifically imitate anything, but it's a great little pattern. Even when they're keying in on small flies, you'd be little blue wing olives and such, you'd be surprised what will eat a Humpy. So we'll go along here. This one is tied with the hackle right size. Sometimes I'll tie him with a little bit of a undersized hackle too, just so he sit a little flatter in the current. Depends on what I'm fishing. So I'll use a regular 1.5 times gape on that one, and this one's actually gape length on this one. So just to give you an idea, you can change it up. That's the nice thing about tying your own flies. You can customize them a little bit. This one I'm going to tie with some different materials, and makes it a lot easier for you to tie. So let's go over the materials we need. I'm going to use a size 12. This actually says a small nymph. It's a Gamakatsu. It's a very fine wire hook, so I'm going to get away with that for dry flies for sure. 12s and 14s are quite common on the Humpy, so try both of those sizes. A dry fly. The tailing material, I'm going to be using some moose body hair. Really nice quality hair, and it floats like a top. The thread, I'm just going to be using some Semperfly. This is classic wax 12-aught in white. You can use whatever color to match the fly you're tying. I'll just color that with a little red felt pen when I'm ready to tie off the head, and it'll blend with the color I'm using. You can use what I like using for the body, and instead of floss is ice dub. I use a lot of ice dub products in my flies. There's a lot of great attractor colors in here. Don't forget the red, and that'll get you going. The hackle, you can use brown and drizzly mixed. Gives you a nice effect. And if you do have, what I prefer to use is just a Cree, which is kind of a nice barred Cree here. And what else do we need? We need some of this larvae lace open cell foam. It really floats well. This is the thinner, the thicker and thin. This is really nice for this. Ties down really well. And for the wing, instead of the calf tail, which is a little bit cranky to use for the wings, I'm going to be using some polar flash. So this is really nice material. You got a lot of highlights in it. Really nice and fine. It ties down easily, as you see. So let's get a hook and a vise. Tie up one of these Humpies. I know when I started tying flies, I got the book Jack Dennis' Tying Western Trout Flies, and it had a lot of them deer hair flies in there, and Jack's very, very great tyer and a good fisherman and a good guy to be around, a lot of fun. So if you have a chance to go see Jack somewhere, he's sure done a lot for the sport of fly fishing over the years. But when you're working with deer hair and straight hair, it's a bit of a learning curve, and it's got to be done right. This little stack my moose fibers in here. Just get a few of them for the tail. Make a nice sturdy tail. Now this fly is great for rough water. Is really what it was designed for. I know you can fish it in some slacker water along the seams, along the edge of the banks. A lot of times this will really be surprised how well it works. And also you can use it for a dropper fly. If you can use 2 flies or whatever and put a tiny little nymph underneath that, works great. So then what I've done is I take my polar flash here, and I've got about as much I wanted for each wing. I'm just going to tie it in the front here about 1/3 of the way back, or a little bit further. Then I'm going to exit on the front. I'll just cut that off. Quite long right now. I'm going to leave these a lot longer than the wing would be, just to show you. So I'm just going to come in through here and tie this in an X pattern to get them nicely divided. And there they go. Now I can come in for the base, take a few wraps of each wing, pop it up, pop them up. And they should be coming off at about a 45. Take my thread back. I gotta let them hook out again. So what I like to do now, these are kind of big gaudy wings. I'll take them about, and I'll take my scissors at a very severe angle, cut them both down. Gives you nice little wings. Could have been just maybe a little tad longer. I might have cut them just a little bit short. I'll take some of my closed cell foam. This is in gray. Tie it over the back. And this ties down really nice and tight if I want to. I'm leaving a little bit of bulk in there just to add to the floatability. Then we'll come in with some nice stub. Here's some orange, good color. And you can just dub that on. I like the classic wax threads. My material's nice. This just gives a lot more sparkle than the traditional floss. And that's what we're looking for, a little bit of flash. And I don't tie nothing down too tight. It's nice and bulky in there. Bring my shell back over the top, my Humpy. Get a little pull on the foam right there, and that ties right down nice and neat. Get my wings back up. They are a little bit short, but... And then we'll come in, let's do an undersized one here again. I'm going to do the brown and grizzly. And just tie the two together. That's typically what most tires will have. You can get a really nice effect with that. Here, Adams. Brown and grizzly is a good hackle color for lots of dry flies. I'll take 2 turns with both behind, 2 turns in the head. Nip them off. Get a whip finish on there. Now the white, you're not going to really see anything, pick anything up. But if I was using the white, which is a good little trick, you just take a little marker pin there and put a little orange on that if you want, orange thread. And you got an orange head on that. Cut it with your scissors at points. You don't have to nip it, just a couple little hackles picking up off the bottom. And there you go. That's a nice bright orange. Little Humpy there. You put a little head cement on that if you like, just a little dollop. But that floats really, really well. It's easy to tie, like you can see. It's not hard to tie. That body's a little bit bulky, a little bit sloppy there, but it really rides nice. I like that in the water. It's a little fuzzy in there too, and just sits really, really well in the water and catches a lot of fish. So I think a lot of dry flyingers would agree if they had to pick the top 10 dry flies, this would be on the list for many, many anglers. And it's an easy way to tie a Humpy, so hope you'll have a lot of fun with this one. Get out to your favorite water and make sure you practice catch and release, conserve our waters. Thanks for watching.